Hi you guys, and welcome to part 2 in our dot drawing challenge video series on perspective. And we're going to do 2-point perspective today, and we're going to start by drawing a horizon line. I'm going to make this horizon line lower down. You can see how it might change the perspective. With 2-point perspective, it's very similar to 1 point, only instead of one vanishing point, we're going to have 2. So we're going to create 1 dot here and 1 dot here. And I'm going to create a few reference point lines for what we're going to draw. We're going to draw basically a box, but you could also call it a building. And just drawing this exercise will help you better understand how to see perspective, and then that will help you better be able to draw it when you are drawing things. That one was a little off, but it's okay to be just a little bit off. I know architects would cringe, and some of you are very exact, and that's okay to be very exact too. I'm gonna draw a line here. All right, let's complete this building. We'll close it up. The top of the roof, and these lines are perpendicular to the horizon line, but this line here will vanish towards this point over here. And then once I have my guidelines, I can go ahead and erase these lines and just make everything appear more real and more solid. I love it when I get to the point where I can erase some of the lines. All right, so from here, we could go ahead and we could draw a door with some parallel lines that are perpendicular to the horizon line, and then vanishing point line to top it off. You can still see that this is still kind of a bird's eye view. We're still seeing this from above, so we are seeing some of the roof of this building. Now in the other video, like I said before, I like to come back and I like to rough up the lines a little bit, but that is something you can do later on once you've added more details. And when you look at this viewpoint looks really extreme. And you can find this extreme point of view in nature. You may not always want this kind of extreme viewpoint in your drawings. So I'm going to give you a tip. This is something that I do even just on my drawing board or on my desk. I will fix the paper down when I'm doing something where I need to draw guidelines for my perspective, and I will actually use a larger piece of paper. And what I will do is I will make my horizon line and extend it out to a larger piece of paper or even on my board, and I will go ahead and make points further out. Then if I have those reference points, it's going to look wrong because it's a different point. I can then create other lines that won't seem quite as extreme. They'll diminish a lot more slowly, and it won't be quite so drastic as from these 2 points. So here I've given you a very basic layout of what you can do in 2-point perspective. This takes a little bit of practice to learn which lines are the right lines that you need to use that you need to have vanish. But once you start working on it and start playing with it, you'll become a lot more familiar, and it will just become a lot more on instinct. So go ahead, draw, and have fun.